How you doing, people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are actually going to be reviewing Life is Feudal, the MMO, which is actually an older game, but it's been kind of revisited back on Steam. So those of you that played it before, you're in luck because you're going to get a 30-day subscription for free. Those of you that haven't played it, obviously you can get a 7-day free trial from me if you use the link below. It's also in the pinned comment section. But this particular game is an open world survival MMO where basically anything goes within reason. It's a massive, massive scale.
My eyes blinded with tears.
Is that Boromir?
I see the star of our hopes.
The T-Man.
Do it for Yorkshire!
Anyway, moving on. This is an open world survival game. So you basically have a peace mode and then you have a war mode. During the day, you run around gathering resources, you pick up stuff, you build stuff, and nighttime is when you go into combat mode and start killing people. It is actually very, very calming to kind of start with. There's no major battle going on where you get thrown into the deep end and loads of stuff hits you. You get time to figure out what is going on. And the daytime to nighttime cycles are quite long, so you've got plenty of time to kind of jump into it. But also, you've got guilds and groups that you can join, and even your own personal clans where you can actually interact with one another, and you're going to need to do that. This is quite hardcore. If you are on your own, you are most likely going to fail. So make sure that you find a guild in the guild finder itself, or even jump into one of the basic zone chats to get interacting with people to start finding your feet. There is lots of different places that you can go to in order to find other players and start making your own settlements. And you can basically build anywhere. There's lots of different districts, but of course, if they are claimed, you can't. Bear in mind, if you step on someone else's land, they get alerted. They can kill you. Now, the character select screen is actually pretty good. I always go into the character select stages of any game, obviously, because you want to see all the options that are presented to you. Now, this isn't too bad. There's quite a few options here, especially when it comes to facial features. Lots of different tattoos and a few different races you can choose from as well. And when you pick your names, obviously your main name has to be something that hasn't been used before, but your second name is a little bit freer. You can kind of use what you want. But the character select also allows you to choose your stats first off. There's no classes. There are base stats that you can alter, you can add or remove whatever you want based on how many points you have, and that determines your character's ability from the start. Are they a crafter? Do they work really well with combat, with melee-based weapons, range weapons? Are they really good at riding? There's lots of different ways that you can build your character to start with outside of where they can progress to later. So that's kind of free when you start. Very traditional role-play-esque stat-based progression there as far as your original character goes. Now, you can level up passively the same way as you used to in some older MMOs, where running or jumping will increase acrobatics or stamina-based stuff, and also swimming will be increased by doing swimming, and then all that kind of, not so much linear, but the more you do, the more it grows, rather than just killing those bad guys and leveling up and using a skill point. It's all quite passive. So as you live longer, you grow as a player. Now, publisher-wise, this is taken over by Longtail Games, which have been putting a lot of effort into this, and they've now done a lot of balance restoration as well. So the publisher launched a special event aimed at the game's original players, as well as obviously introducing some new ones to rebalance the game and make it better for everyone. It is now in a position where they're trying to introduce a lot more players, and older players can now get LIF coins that will exchange for that subscription. Remember, I said use the link. If you use the link and you're new, 7 days are for you. If you get the coins, that's 30 days. Now, as far as freedom is concerned, this is a sandbox. It's pretty big. There's lots and lots of stuff to see. And there's loads of player-made stuff. You can build on the ground or you can build underground. You can dig up the ground. You can do all sorts of things. And you can even build farms. Yep, different places have different materials at different times of the day, and different weather types affect it as well. So it's not just this place has grass and you can have carrots and stuff. That can change. And you also have an interesting way of finding materials. Your basic materials you need to kind of forage for rather than look for specific nodes of resources. They don't just pop up in front of you. You have to actually look for them. But if you do start mining and such, you can go under the ground and mine metal. It's quite realistic in that respect, that you don't just pick up random ore off the top of the ground, because ore wouldn't be there. Now, obviously, when it comes to general harvesting, you can have general harvesting tools, but you can also have weapons as well. Now, weapons are obviously for combat, tools are obviously for crafting. Don't try and kill someone with a crafting weapon or crafting tool, because that's what I did, and that's exactly what I ended up being. A tool. I died, but it's not a full death. You do drop your gear on the ground. In PvP, obviously, people are going to be able to take your stuff, but in PvE, the enemy will disappear and you can get back up again. But you're not restricted just to combat. Obviously, with the crafting and stuff, you can make a base, you can protect yourself, etc. But other people like to be a bit more roleplay rather than just combat-based and taking over towns. You can actually decide to be a farmer, you can build castles, you can build all sorts of different things that have political or economical gain or leverage on your survival and or your wealth or growth as a player. You don't just have to build a base and beat people up. You could actually take part in the economy itself. And they even have traders where you can buy and sell from, much like an auction house. And you will see that at the very beginning of the game once you get out of the tutorial as well. So personally for me, when I was playing the game, the most thing that I tended to do was run around. I know that sounds really dumb, but I was running around trying to find out what everything looked like. I was seeing if I could climb hills. I was seeing if I could knock down trees. I was seeing if I could swim. And you can do all that. You can do all that stuff. So you find somewhere that suits you. Find a place where you want to build your home and go nuts. Everything is open to you unless someone else has already claimed the land. In which case, well, you could take it from them. Anyway, it was a pretty good game. Had a lot of fun with it. It's very old school at the same time as having a new, fresh look to it. And it's something that you could definitely sink a lot of time in, especially if you're into survival games. Also, not to mention, when I first got into the game, I had no idea who was who, and I had randomers come up to me, giving me food, letting me know that that is something that I need to do. The community is actually pretty welcoming, but that was during the day. Now, we all know in MMOs, if you have to pick up too much stuff, you can't move, yes, you get encumbered. Well, there's a fix to that. In this particular game, if you are carrying too much stuff, you've got two options. You can drop stuff on the ground, or you can actually get a wheelbarrow or other types of carts that you can pull around to carry your stuff for you. So the more stuff you want to carry, the more stuff you'll have to acquire in order to make the carts or the wheelbarrows or anything that can carry things. And then you can actually move stuff from one place to another, or you can actually mass build up resources in order to build your towns, your houses, whatever it is you're trying to acquire. I did get to nose around a little bit to see if other players were making stuff. There were a few towns or a few small settlements and stuff, and there were some really large ones as well, which I didn't get too close to because that looked a bit intimidating. But I also found this bridge, and I decided to go as far as I could, and at the end, there was stash. A rather large stash of stuff. Now, when it comes to building your houses and crafting, you do need quite a lot of resources. And of course, with the carts, they do help you carry more of those. But the trick is to get more people involved. As a group, you can build faster, you can carry more stuff. It makes much more sense to actually play as a community than it does to play solo. That's not to say that you can't, but you're going to have a very rough time if you do. So straight away, as soon as you start the game, you are prompted to get involved in guilds. There's even options to automatically join some open ones. And the way to play this game effectively is to get involved with others. So give it a go, people. Remember, there's a link in the description below. It's in the pinned comment as well. But if you want to play this game and you're brand new, get it downloaded on Steam. Use my link. You'll have 7 days access for it for free. And if you're an existing player from the previous version of the game, then, of course, you get 30 days sub for nothing. Check it out, people. And thank you very much for watching. If you're not subbing, hit the button. It's free. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Balance Restoration offers a special chance for past players who've invested in Life is Feudal MMO. If you spent during its earlier days, you can now receive bonus coins that you can use towards a new Life is Feudal MMO subscription. Remember this world? Want to come back? Then rest assured, we've got the solution. Head over to LTG.com or the LTG launcher and follow 3 simple steps. Log in and merge your original game account using your email or Steam. Enter the email related to your old account or link your Steam account. Confirm the merge. Lift coins will be credited to your account instantly. Use them to dive back into the game. A Bella awaits.